guys, thanks for tuning in to another video. Today we're going to be discussing Bank of Canada's latest rate announcement, which could impact your financing, mortgage, and the broader economy. So let's dive into what Bank of Canada's latest 50 basis point rate cut means for the economy, you, and the real estate market. On December 11th, Bank of Canada announced a 50 basis point reduction in their key policy rate. This marks the second time they've done this in a row, following a similar move in October, bringing the overnight rate down from 3.75 to 3.25%. With this reduction in the policy rate, the central bank is aiming to stimulate economic growth due to weaker than expected GDP growth, a softening labor market, and the economy operating in excess supply, as Tiff Macklem stated in the Bank of Canada presser on December 11th. My recent prediction of Bank of Canada only decreasing rates by 25 basis points was clearly wrong, and after we saw the jobs numbers come out on Friday, the market had heavily priced in another 50 basis point rate cut for this meeting. Recent data showed that GDP grew by only 1% in Canada, falling short of expectations. Unemployment also rose from 6.5% to 6.8%, showing slack in the economy. These data points, along with inflation being under control, prompted Bank of Canada to take decisive action and follow their 50 basis point cut with another 50 basis point cut. Following the jobs numbers and when the market had heavily priced in a 50 basis point cut, the Canadian dollar suffered. Last rate announcement, the Canadian dollar was hovering around 72 cents compared to the USD, and today it's between 70.5 and 71 cents. Amid all of the talks around potential tariffs and what's happening with the Canadian economy compared to the US economy, our dollar has suffered. So how does all of this data relate back to buyers, sellers, and the housing market in general? Well, with another 50 basis point rate cut under our belt, the cost of borrowing will continue to decrease, whether that's variable rate mortgages or fixed rate mortgages, because I know I've spoken that Bank of Canada's rate announcements don't affect fixed rate mortgages. The bond yields do, but the 5-year bond yield has dropped quite a bit. It's dropped substantially from, even in November, it's dropped about 50 basis points. So buyers will continue to see lower interest rates on not only variable rate mortgages, but fixed rate mortgages as well. This latest interest rate announcement will likely bring more positive sentiment into the housing market because buyers, and especially first-time buyers, may feel more comfortable entering the market now that they've seen prices have been relatively stable, but their purchasing power has increased and they're seeing lower rates. So their qualifying rate's going to be lower. They're going to be approved to purchase potentially a higher priced home, and prices haven't really moved that much and they've been relatively stable, which brings comfort to a buyer, especially a first-time buyer. For sellers, on the flip side, this means there may be more activity in the market because there's going to be more buyers potentially feeling comfortable to purchase in this environment. But in turn, this may also bring more sellers to the market because market sentiment will increase. Sellers will think, okay, now buyers are back in the market, it's a good time to sell. So everything may balance itself out. Keep in mind, Bank of Canada is cutting rates and cutting rates aggressively for a reason. So although general sentiment around the housing market may be positive and better than it has been in the last year or 2 years, sentiment around the general economy is not doing so hot, which obviously prompted Bank of Canada to make this 50 basis point rate cut decision. So there are indicators that the economy is doing okay and starting to recover, but there's also some negative aspects, which obviously Bank of Canada is trying to get ahead of to prevent further recession. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys found this video informative. Continue to keep you updated on what's going on with interest rates and the general economy. The next interest rate announcement is on January 29th. We'll also see how all of this US tariff talk plays out because that could have big implications for the Canadian economy. So thank you guys for watching and see you next week.